Okay, we're broadcasting to all attendees. And I want to say hello to everybody who's come on board. We're going to be talking to you about a few housekeeping announcements. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to the presenter at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening. Check out our full schedule at College2Career Fairs Connect.org if you want to go to some other sessions. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at our same site, at the Connect.org website. Okay, and from here, I am going to turn off my screen and you're going to get a great presentation from University of Nevada, Reno.
Right. Hello, everyone. And again, thank you for coming here. I really, I love that you're taking the time to look at my screen. I know that you stare at a lot of screens all day, every day, so I always truly appreciate that. And with no further ado, I will introduce myself. So my name is Shaylor. I am a regional admissions counselor for the University of Nevada, Reno. And what's really the biggest takeaway is that you at any point after today can feel free to contact me with any questions. So my contact information is on the screen. You will find that at the end of the presentation here today. So that number is textable. If you'd like to send me a text, if you would like to email me, whatever you prefer, please feel free to do so. And now we're going to take a step outside of California and talk a little bit about what Nevada can offer you. So the University of Nevada, we're located in Reno, Nevada, which is northern Nevada, about 2 hours east of Sacramento. Just putting that into perspective. We're about 45 minutes from Lake Tahoe. We're really close to the state capital as far as job opportunities, internship opportunities. And beyond that, as far as an out-of-state experience, especially if you're in Northern California, you still can be close to home, but you do get that out-of-state opportunity, that out-of-state independence. So just know that there's lots of ways for you to come back home if you'd ever like to, but still kind of try out something new. And we are a tier 1 research institution. Ultimately, what that means, we're a top 5% of universities in the nation. We have wonderful professors that have the highest level degree possible in their fields, be that masters, be that PhDs. And we're also a lovely middle-sized institution, I think. We have about 18,000 undergraduate students and about 3,000 grads, just putting us over about 20,000. And so in total with that, you really do get the experience of having a lot of different opportunities on campus. For example, we have about 300 plus different clubs. We do have Greek life on campus, and we have much more casual, relaxed clubs like Sleeping Club or Netflix Club, the Lettuce Head Eating Club. So whatever there is for you, we definitely have it on campus. And if you're not gonna maybe find a club when you come with us, you can always join one, create one yourself. As long as you have 10 students and a mentor or an advisor, you're able to create a club. And beyond that, we have lots of other programs. So you have a study abroad opportunity. USAC is what we partner with, and that organization's headquarters is located on our university's campus, which makes it super easy to study abroad and get the credit for that. So you're not only able to go abroad maybe for a semester or a year, but you can actually fulfill and make those credits towards your 4-year degree and still graduate on time. We do have wonderful first generation programs like First in the Pack and Trio. And we also do have an honors college. So if you're taking any honors, AP, maybe you have an IB program at your institution, you're able to really kind of transfer that over when you're coming to college and kind of mirror that experience, have a high level experience at college and surround yourself by other students who are pushing themselves to do maybe just a little bit harder, a little bit more at the university setting. As far as what university can offer at Nevada, we do have the Western Undergraduate Exchange, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what that is and ultimately how you could save about $12,000 per year for 4 years. And that's going to apply to all of our different 145 plus different academic programs, none of which are impacted. As long as you are accepted to the university, you're able to study any major that you would like. So that ensures that you can not only study what you would like, but you can actually graduate on time in 4 years. So you do not have to wait to make sure you're going to get into that biology or engineering program. You can do it immediately at your first semester. So a little bit about where those programs are. We have 13 different colleges, and to put into perspective, our College of Ag is where you'll find ag science, environmental science. Business is where you'll find our multitude of business degrees such as marketing, management, information systems. We do have a wonderful journalism school. And on the very bottom, you'll see we have interdisciplinary. And what that means is you can come in undeclared. If you are a senior and you're hoping to apply to the university, because our application is live as we speak, you're going to click the exploratory option. And don't feel like you're going to be the only one doing that. A lot of students, they may kind of have an idea of where they want to go, but they don't exactly know what degree is the best fit for them. So don't feel like it's a shame coming in undeclared. You can absolutely come in, we'll talk with your advisor, kind of maybe get those general requirements out of the way, and then you can declare maybe at the end of the first semester, at the end of the year, and still graduate on time in 4 years. A little bit more about some of our very popular programs, especially for our California students. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about what engineering looks like with us and what our pre-nursing program looks like. I like to highlight our biochemistry and molecular biology, especially if you're interested in any of our pre-professional programs like pre-med or pre-dentistry. Ultimately, all you have to do is we have what are called pre-professional advisors. So you can be any major you would like on campus. You have to go to a large informational group session, and then from there, you're able to have one-on-one meetings with these pre-professional academic advisors. So what's awesome about that is you can actually be a dance major and then be in our pre-med program. That might just mean you're picking up a bio or a chem minor, because ultimately you just need the prerequisites in order to apply to a medical school. But just know that that offers a lot of different opportunities for you. You don't have to apply to these programs. Biochemistry and molecular biology aligns really well with the pre-med track, more because you are required to do a lab your senior year, so you do have that lab experience. You'll also be writing a thesis. And in addition to that, the university has cadaver labs on campus that undergraduates do have access to. We also, like I was saying, have a great journalism program. If you're interested in doing news and broadcasting, PR, or maybe Spanish language media, a lot of different things under that catalog really. We are an accredited journalism program. We've had 6 Pulitzer Prize graduates from our university, and about 90% of our journalism graduates are getting jobs within 1 year. They're required to have an internship. So if you'd like to come to us and you'd love to explore what communication, where it can really take you, we'd love to see you here for that as well. And like I was saying, we have a lot of different programs. So unfortunately, I don't have time to go over every single one of them, but that is why with my contact information on the screen that you'll see again at the end of this presentation, please feel free to reach out to me with questions if you do ever have any. A little bit more about our engineering program. As I was saying, they are not impacted. If you are accepted, you can study right away. Mechanical, biomedical, civil, electrical. We also have mining and metallurgical, a little bit more unique for the state of Nevada. And as you're coming in, you'll be able to take part in our new engineering building that just debuted in the last month. So what's wonderful about that is we have new labs in there, and we also have a clean lab in there that undergrads have access to. A clean lab being you're going to wear your really fancy scrubs. You're going to go in, and you yourself will not only be clean, but the air will be clean of any microbes, anything outside of that room coming in. So you really get a true, wonderful, clean research lab experience. And as an engineering student, you are going to do a large capstone group project your senior year, where you'll work on it throughout the full year. You'll present it with all the other groups in one of our large ballrooms. And then local engineering employers are going to walk around and see what you have been working on. Not only can that lead to jobs, that could lead to you purely networking. They'll say, hey, Shayla, what you've been working on looks pretty great. And you say, yeah, I know. And you swap contact information, and now you've already kind of made a network in the outside world of business and engineering. So I think that's really exciting as well. So especially what's going on in engineering, definitely take a look at us. We're very close to maybe a lot of you if you're in Northern California. We do have a Tesla Gigafactory half an hour away from campus. So if you are especially interested in mechanical, electrical, or computer science coding engineering, those are going to be some great opportunities for you. A little bit more about what our nursing program looks like. It's not impacted, but it is competitive. We can take as many pre-nursing students as do declare that major. However, you do have to complete about 2 years of prerequisites in order to then apply to the Orvis School. And those prerequisites will include courses like organic chemistry and anatomy and physiology. The program accepts 64 applicants per semester every fall and every spring, and about 100 to 120 students apply. So it's just over a 50% acceptance rate. The program is really, really awesome. It's 16 months, so you're going pretty fast. So keeping in mind, if you get those prerequisites done in maybe about a year and a half, and then you're in that 16-month program, you can actually graduate early in 3.5 years. So that may be a great incentive right there, but you're also completing 900 clinical hours. You get experience not only in Reno, in two of our hospital systems, Renown and St. Mary's, one of which I know Renown is a teaching hospital, so you're going to be working with actual nurses, but you get that rural experience in rural Nevada. So you kind of get both sides of the medical coin. You get a lot of opportunities here. Over 90% of our students are passing their NCLEX, which is the exam you have to take in order to become a registered nurse. This is a super successful program and we would love to see you take part in it. And of course, I love to emphasize that we do have visual and performing arts on our campus. We opened a building in January of 2019 that is dedicated to the arts. It has soundproof practice rooms. It has a new performance hall. It also has a fabrications lab that's dedicated to visual artists. It has a really cool 3D printer in there just for visual artists, kind of a state-of-the-art, like high-scale industrial sewing machine. So just all the things that you can be doing there, we had that for you here. And keeping in mind, maybe you love music, but you're not exactly ready to study that on a major or minor level at the university. You still have access to these resources just because you're a student. So for example, every student has to take a fine arts credit at the university. So you can get creative with that. You can take a ceramics class, you can take a painting class, you can play the harp for a semester, or maybe you're just purely into playing the piano or singing. You can reserve one of these practice rooms because you're a student with us and have access to these. So don't feel like you have to come to school, you have to just be an art major, you have to just be a science major. You can absolutely blend and merge the two. And that's what I think is truly beautiful about the university is we're investing in both the arts and the sciences. A little bit more about these different employers coming to campus. I've highlighted Tesla. These are also a few other examples of employers that are coming. They're coming to what are called our college and career fairs. We host those at least once a semester, where we have 40 to 50 different employers on campus. You're going to be all suited up, all dressed up, having your resumes on you, so you can hand out your resumes to these individuals. Again, this could lead to an internship, this could lead to a job, and moreover, it's also just really preparing you for that outside world. But in partnership with that, these employers, they come to campus, they love advertising their jobs to our students. They also come to campus purely because they love the university. They're going to our Division I sports games, they're bringing their families, they're bringing their babies in their silver and blue onesies. We truly are the biggest little city, as Nevada is called, mostly because you get the small town college feel, where you're gonna be walking in our Midtown area where all of our local shops are. They're gonna have Reno stickers on their windows. You're gonna be going to your local restaurants and they're gonna have student discounts. And so they're coming to campus, they're going to our programs. They're seeing our men's basketball team. For example, in 2017, we were in the Sweet 16 March Madness. 3 of those players are now professional athletes. So if you see the Martin twins on the Hornets, they are Nevada alumni. So truly, you can come here, you can experience a small town feel, but big time city opportunities. And again, I of course love to highlight we're 45 minutes from Lake Tahoe. And if that is still too far away for you, we're about 10-minute drive from just a lot of local Reno hills. So if you love hiking, if you love mountain biking, those are really within a rock throwing distance of us. Which now takes us to, what does it look like and take to be an admitted student with us? So we look at what's called our academic GPA. So pretty different from that A to G requirements. We're looking at 13 core courses, which are going to include 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of a natural science, and 3 years of a social science. So if you have these requirements, you have at least a 3.0 GPA in those courses, and it's weighted. So if you take any AP, honors, or if you take IB classes at your school, it's gonna help that GPA, then you are accepted. So very black and white, very cut and dry, and we are 100% test optional for this application season. This is also going to be including our scholarships. You do not have to have an ACT or SAT test score on file in order to be admitted, in order to be evaluated. We still have this on the screen because if, for example, you feel that maybe you're not going to be able to meet that GPA, you can still be admitted off of test scores if you have them. So if you have at least an 1120 SAT or 22 ACT, we can essentially test waiver you and admit you off of those. But ultimately, just keep in mind, you don't have to have tests on file in order to be attending this university this year. We know that it's been very difficult for students to get into those exams, so we want to make it much more equitable for all of our applicants. A little bit more about what the application process looks like. We are not on the Common App, so you will have to go to our website individually. It's going to be at unr.edu/apply, and the application takes about 5 to 10 minutes. There are no essays required, no letters of recommendation, and you will pay a $60 application fee at that time. Once you fill that out, And then you're going to send us your transcript, and we have both of those. We have your application, we have your transcript. We will let you know within about a month if you are accepted. And that's because we are a rolling admission school. And what that means is our application is open up right now. It will be open through the spring of next year, and you have that entire time to apply. Of course, the earlier the better, and we'll talk about why applying early is better. But we'll also let you know as soon as you apply if you're admitted. So you will absolutely know from at least one school way before everyone else lets you know in the spring if you are admitted, which I think is great. You can celebrate right now. You'll have something really exciting to talk about when you're maybe going to any of your holiday celebrations. And next, scholarships. So the Western Undergraduate Exchange is something all California residents could qualify for. And what it is it's including all of these 15 different states in that picture on the bottom right, and partnering institutions within those states are able to, they have qualifications you can meet, and then you could receive what is a 150% discount of the in-state tuition. And what that means, breaking that down into a little bit more simple terms, I think, you're not paying as much as the out-of-state tuition, you're not paying as little as the in-state tuition, you're paying something in between. And so you are rewarded for maybe your great grades or great other qualifications schools might ask for. So at the university, these are or statements. You can qualify if you have a 3.25 cumulative unweighted GPA. So that GPA is going to be your entire high school transcript, 9 through 12. So different from our academic GPA requirements. So if you have that, then you receive WUI. You don't even have to have test scores on file. But as you can see, these are or statements. So if you are able to have an 1160 SAT or a 24 ACT, then you can get WUI in that way. Keep in mind, if you apply today and you find that you're not sure if you're going to have that GPA, maybe even by the time you finish your high school career, but you're able to maybe take an ACT in the spring. You apply today, you're admitted, you take that ACT in the spring, and then you get at least a 24, you can still get WUI after the fact, after you're admitted. So you have a lot of time to maybe make up for what maybe you're not able to have right now. Just keep that in mind. If you apply today, you don't have these requirements, there is still time for you to meet the requirements. Other things to keep in mind. There is no separate application. Anyone who applies to the university and is admitted will automatically be evaluated for the WUI project, the WUI tuition scholarship. This is the first time freshman qualification. So if you're interested in transferring into the university, those are going to look a little different. It's open to all of our majors though. So if you come in undeclared, you change your major 7 times, which I promise you does happen a lot, the WUI will follow you. As long as you receive WUI, you have it guaranteed for 4 years. You do not have to maintain a certain GPA while a student with us. You don't have to take a certain number of classes in order to keep it. You automatically have it for 4 years. You do, however, have to live on campus that first year as a freshman, which makes it super imperative to apply for housing as soon as possible. Our housing application for those seniors out there will open up in November of 2020. So that's in about a month. And so of course, the earlier the better for that. A priority deadline for applying for housing is February 15th. Other scholarships you can tack on top of WUI and you can qualify for as a California resident, one of which is the Presidential Scholarship, and that's $8,000 on top of $12,000. This is going to be a little different in the ways that you need to apply for this. You will fill out an application that's going to be found in what's called your My Nevada account, and My Nevada will be accessed after you have applied to the university. So first you would apply, you would get what's called your NSHE ID, a student ID associated with you. Then you would activate your My Nevada account, and then you could apply for the scholarship application. And so the 3 things you're going to need in order to be evaluated for the scholarship. 1, you have to have at least a 3.5 cumulative unweighted GPA, so it's fairly competitive. You do have to have a FAFSA or institutional methodology on file. And right now, as I say this, it's October 1st, so the FAFSA is available today right now, so definitely fill that out. For this scholarship, you don't have to be income qualified. We strictly just need that FAFSA on file. And then last but not least, you will need to complete an essay, the essay which will ask you to tell us a little bit more about yourself outside of your GPA, maybe more about your academic achievements or what you're doing outside of school, if you have any at-home responsibilities, if you have any special talents, if you have any interests that you feel are really going to help make your cause to us. So we need those 3 things. And again, the scholarship deadline for this is February 15th, which makes it very important that you have your application into us by February 1st to ensure we can process you, and then you will have time to apply for this scholarship. So February 1st is going to be the priority deadline to have that application in. As I was saying, you can still apply late into May, but after that point, you've missed the opportunity to potentially get the presidential scholarship. And now we're going to talk a little bit about how that can affect your total cost of attendance. So right now you're going to say, those are big numbers, Shaylor. How can we get this lower? And yes, we will absolutely do that. But first, I want to break this down for you so you know exactly what these numbers mean. So first of all, tuition is just the price of classes. So when an institution says tuition is X amount of money, they are just talking about classes. They are not talking about additional fees. They are not talking about housing. So looking at this table, $22,922 is the cost if you're taking 15 credits per semester, which is about 5 classes per semester, which is pretty average if you're going to be taking enough credits to graduate on time in 4 years. Additional costs, such as the $1,000 fee right below that, are going to allow you to have access to our student health center, our counseling services, our tutoring services, and our beautiful gym that's about 3 years old, 4 stories, 1/8 mile indoor track, 20 plus different squatting racks, a bunch of different drop-in classes, including kickboxing, aerial silks, and yoga, and a lot of free weights. And then next, living on campus is about on average of $10,000 a year. And again, if you receive WUI, you will have to be living on campus that first year as a freshman. This cost does include your meal plan. So that's your room, and it is also your meal plan. And then lastly, books on average about $1,000 per year. However, if you rent books, if you know anyone who took the class before you, that could absolutely go down. So in total, the total cost of attendance about $35,320. So your eyes are popping out of your head maybe a little bit. So let's break this down. If we compare this to a UC, if you as a California resident are attending a UC and you're living on campus, that's about $36,700. So that right now, comparing that, we're just a little bit cheaper than a UC without any financial aid. With financial aid, with WUI, you get about $12,000 per year for 4 years, which makes your tuition about $10,900 and your total cost of attendance about $23,300, making your per semester cost about $11,650. Now, if we add on the presidential scholarship to that, that's about $8,000 per year for 4 years, making your total cost of attendance $15,300 and your per semester cost just over $7,000 per semester. This is with just 2 scholarships that you as a California resident could qualify for. Absolutely dispelling the myth. You do not have to pay an arm and a leg to go out of the state of California. You do not have to pay an arm and a leg to go to college. There are so many different financial resources out there for you. Absolutely apply to them. Always ask questions about them. And if you get any loans or grants, or if you apply to any external scholarships, you can even add that on top of this price right here. So just know there are a lot of ways for you to not have to pay the full price when you're going to college. I'm hoping that something I said maybe kind of ignited something within you. You're a little interested. So a few more ways to kind of get in connection with us. There is a Wolfpack NorCal Instagram dedicated to Northern California students. If you're from SoCal, you can still follow that. We also have a general Nevada admissions page as well. Moreover, the point is that we update you on maybe when that housing application is going to go live. We host a few Instagram lives talking about updates about the application and campus as well. The links again, where to apply for housing. And right now, we are offering in-person campus walking tours. If you are able to make it over, if you're comfortable doing so, please sign up for one. We cap it at 10 people per tour. Everyone is required to wear a facial covering, and your tour guides will be doing the same. So we absolutely have measures in place to make it safe. But we understand if you're still not able to do so or want to, we offer a lot of different virtual opportunities as well. You can do a virtual tour where we're going to have students live giving you a tour through campus. In addition to that, we have what are called our Nevada bounds, and those are also offered virtual, a little bit more in depth than the in-campus tour. You'll be meeting our director of admissions. You'll have a financial aid presentation. You'll also get to interact with our academics or maybe people from our study abroad program, for example. So all of those, if anything, those sound kind of interesting, you can sign up for those at unr.edu/visit. And the next thing is ask questions. This goes beyond me. Questions you have about the university, please ask them. I have a few canned on the screen just to kind of get the juices flowing. My information is on the screen again, so please feel free to write that down. I do know I have a question in the chat right now, so I'll answer that. And if anyone else has anything else, then please ask. All right, so the main website is just going to be unr.edu. So if you search UNR in Google, you can absolutely find us. So that's going to be our main website. And then any of the slashes, /apply, /housing is where you can find those specific unique ones to answer. Any other questions? We ended a little early. I know we had till 45 after, but a lot of time to answer.
I was hoping you might tell them a little bit about why. I assume you're alumnus. I apologize. I'm your host. I'm in late.
Okay.
But thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. But I'm curious, what kind of drew you to the University of Nevada?
Yes, so great question. And you are right. So I am an alum of the university. And one big reason, so I'm actually from Las Vegas, Nevada. So I was an in-state student when I was attending this institution. So I wanted to go out of state initially, but cost is really kind of what drew me to this university. But I really stayed ultimately because I love what the campus offers and where it is. I really enjoyed that I was able to, by the time I was in my upper division courses, I had that interaction with my professors. I also love the surrounding area of Reno. I love being able to go outside and get a breath of fresh air from campus, but I loved how engaged the Reno area was with the university. So I felt really loved. I felt like I was supported. There were so many different opportunities to get jobs and internships. They have, like I was saying, the internship fair. I also, when I was a student, they have a program in the spring where they partner with local businesses and they guarantee that you'll get paid. Compared to maybe California minimum wage, not a lot, but $12 an hour in Nevada is actually a lot of money. And so they guaranteed you get that for 120 hours. And so I was able to do that. And that really, I think, prepared me. And in addition to that, getting involved in the clubs that I was on campus is what ultimately helped me land this job. So I was able to really foster connections, and they could see that even as a student, they clearly valued me enough to hire me. So I just love that there is a sense of family at the university, and that's why I'm still here today. But if maybe that didn't draw you, I just love Reno. I love how close we are to outdoor opportunities.
The other thing I was thinking of was asking too about, I know that you guys have a big sports program, and I hear that Pac-12 and Nevada schools are going to be playing some football coming in November.
Yes, yeah. So we recently announced that we are going to have a small season for football. We're going to have 8 games. Our first game is going to be October 24th. And so I know that especially our senior athletes in football, we're super excited about that. So if you're kind of excited about maybe seeing some sports athletes playing for a university, you can check us out. I know that sometimes we're live, but we will be having games. So we're really excited about that. And hopefully maybe that transfers over to maybe our spring sports as well.
And you do have one more question in the chat.
Wonderful. So another question, do we have a human psychology major? So we do have a psychology or physiology major. Okay, I misunderstood that. We do have psychology though for anyone who maybe wanted that confirmed. As far as, we don't have that exact major, but I'm assuming maybe you're interested in forensics or maybe kind of a neuroscience pathway. And we do have a neuroscience degree, and you can ask another question if I didn't quite get to it. So that would be a great like interdisciplinary blend of biology and psychology together. If maybe you're kind of looking into forensics, kind of DNA, dead bodies, that kind of stuff, we do have our anthropology degree, and you can have a physical anthropology emphasis. And you might be thinking, no, I don't necessarily want to study human culture. I want to study maybe physiology or bones or whatnot. The physical anthropology emphasis does actually go into detail with you'll be at dig sites, so kind of check out bones and things like that. And let me know if that didn't quite answer what you were going for, but that's why I took that question.
How about any other advice you might have? I noticed on your one was about just college search in general.
I would say as far as any advice about the college search is there's a lot of different opportunities. There's, especially in California, there's a lot to choose from, but maybe kind of take a risk to at least check out another institution. A lot of people like myself, we're here to help you. We're here to answer questions, and especially considering that we're not maybe seeing anyone in person, we're so ready to help students. So don't be shy to ask questions. Like my biggest advice is just to ask those questions. There's never a bad question. There's not a wrong or a right question. Anything that is unique to you that you feel like is something that you need to have answered, please ask it. Is really biggest advice. I think going forward beyond college, just never be afraid to get something confirmed or unconfirmed.
I can't think of anything else. You did a really great job. I don't know if you have something else. I mean, we'd be ending 15 minutes early. Do you feel like there's anything else? Because I know they give you a short time. It seems like you can't fit it all in, but you did a really good job of getting that situated.
Thanks. I feel good. I don't necessarily want to whomever's here inundate them too much. And beyond that, just feel free to reach out if you have questions. If I said something that kind of sparked your interest, or I briefly mentioned something and I didn't go enough in depth with you, please reach out to me. So my contact information is there on the screen. I am happy to answer your questions. As I was just saying, there are no wrong, bad questions. So please ask them. And I am happy to help you. And I look forward to maybe seeing some of you become a part of the Wolfpack in the future.
Go Wolfpack.
All right, go
All
Wolfpack.
right. I will go ahead and end us then if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye.